Howdy folks, welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. My cold is still kicking my arse. I've still got a sore throat and a runny nose and I'm still getting headaches and so on and so on, but I'm over the worst of it. And I've done a War Thunder patch 1.43 video. I've done some Alien Isolation playthroughs. That game is seriously giving me the brown trousers and I haven't even seen the alien yet. But that's been a lot of fun playing that, doing the face cam with that one in the dark, so you can scream along with me. And it's been a couple of days since I put a World of Tanks video up. Must be at least 2 days. Oh, I know, the horror. Today I'm going to have a stab at seeing if my throat will behave itself for long enough to do a subscriber spotlight. This is Mugen. In the first replay, he's driving the Panther, the Tier 7 German medium tank. He's got the Comedy L100, oops, throat failure, the Comedy L100 75mm gun, and he's here on Fisherman's Bay. I had a sort of love-hate relationship with this tank. I mean, it's a Panther, so awesome, you know, it's a Panther. But, I don't know, I was very happy when they brought in the VK3002D. Sorry, the VK3002M, which is basically a Panther at Tier 6, fighting T-34-85s, the way God intended. The actual Panther at Tier 7, I don't know, I just feel... The thing that bothered me about the Tier 7 Panther tank, this tank here, is that in order to be competitive in all the kinds of games that it gets into, you know, not just Tier 7 games, but Tier 8 and Tier 9 games as well, you pretty much have to use this hilarious L100 version of the 75mm gun. I mean, look at it. The gun's bigger than the tank. It's not a Panther anymore. You know, it's some comedy fantasy tank. If you want to play the proper Panther, well, you can play the proper Panther with the oh, what was the right gun? The Pack 4. No, not the Pack. The Pack's the towed anti-tank version. The KWK-42 L70 75mm gun is the stock gun on the Tier 7 Panther, but good luck using that in a, you know, Tier 8 or 9 match. I mean, that's the gun that the Stug has at Tier 5. You don't want to be using that gun in a Tier 9 game. So, for this thing to be competitive, you have to basically turn it into not a Panther. At Tier 6, they've introduced the VK3002M, which is basically the Panther prototype, and it uses the KWK-42 L70 75mm gun, and it's effectively the real Panther. The only problem is it's just not very good. I mean, it's not bad. Oh, Tiger, watch out, Tiger. No, the Tiger's not paying attention to him. Well, the SU-100's not paying any attention to him either. Oh, how did he miss that shot? And oh, really? APCR? You've got a 122mm gun and you're firing APCR at the front of Panthers. You loser. Oh, anyway. Come on, finish him off. No. There's the SU-152. Oh, watch this. This is just classic. This is the good thing about this 75mm gun. Very, very rapid rate of fire. Very accurate. Pretty high penetration. Means that he can keep this SU-152. He's never getting out of there. It's just permanently tracked. And the Tiger is paying no attention to him. In fact, he's not the only one behind the Tiger. Oh yeah, now he turns around. Too little, too late, Sonny Jim. I think it's fairly safe to say that Mugen's team have got this match. What's that? Is that an AFK? Oh, looks like it. Yeah, top tier heavy tank. IS. Completely AFK. Fantastic. World of Tanks, random battles. They're for winners. What was I talking about anyway? Oh, there's an E25. Oh, look at that. All you can see of that E25 is the commander's hatch on the top. Actually, it's not even a commander's hatch. It's a little machine gun hatch. That was it. Well, that's how accurate this gun is. When it wants to be. On paper, it's one of the most accurate guns in the game, but sometimes I just get the feeling, when I was driving this tank, it wasn't as accurate as it should have been. Or maybe I was expecting to. Oh, watch out! Jeez, suicidal light tank drivers. If he'd collided with him, he would have probably killed him there. So, yeah, what was I talking about as he finishes off? More enemy tanks. Yeah, the Panther. I think it's fairly safe to say that the Panther in World of Tanks is not a very noob-friendly tank. You really do have to know what you're doing in order to make the most out of tanks like this that have, you know, they don't just have big derpy alpha damage guns. And when I say derpy, I don't mean, you know, like derp guns like the 152mm howitzers that you see on, you know, the Russians, for example. The Russians do tend to be the more noob-friendly nation, mostly. Whereas you get certain vehicles, the Panther's one of them, that you do definitely have to know what you're doing, because you can't just roll around a corner, fire one shot, take off a third of the health of the enemy tank, back up, reload and wait. You have to know what you're doing to make the most of the DPM of this 75mm long-barreled gun. Really, really good players can just produce ridiculously good results in this tank. I've live streamed with circumflexers, for example, and 4 or 5 games in a row gets at least a top gun in every match driving the Panther. Look, Mugen here, look at this. He's on 9 kills. Was anybody even keeping track of the number of kills he'd actually rounded up in this game? And here goes number 10. Here you go. Pool's medal in the Panther. And he's done barely 2,000 damage as well. So as they say in Cornwall, you dirty kill-stealing bastard. So that was Mugen securing all the kills in his Panther in a tier 7 match. This time we're switching it up a few gears. This is Mugen in his STB1, Japanese tier 10 medium tank, and a tank I'm really, really looking forward to. Don't have it yet, don't even have the Type 61. I'm still at tier 8 on my Japanese mediums. I'm liking the Japanese mediums though, even though they don't really start getting good until tier 8. And you could even argue the point about whether or not the STA1 is any good. I like it. I think it's a mobile, manoeuvrable, terribly armoured tier 8 medium tank with a very, very good gun. Here at tier 10, what's the STB1 like? Well, don't have one yet, and I've only ever driven it on the test server. But it seems to me that it's just like the German Leopard 1, except it actually has what you could arguably call effective armour. The armour thickness isn't great, but the sloping on the turret and the upper glacis is extreme. Hold down in a Leopard 1, you just get your turret front penetrated over and over and over. That doesn't really happen in the STB1. The gun's not quite as accurate. Oh, look at this. Of course, it's got that good gun depression as well. Look at this guy. Oh, hello! Yes, where are all your friends? Yeah, you probably didn't want to get that far forward, mate. Not without your friends to back you up. Oh well, there's the first enemy down. That was a bit easy. Let's go find the rest of his team. Actually, where is the rest of his team? Geez, how far ahead of the rest of his team did that guy drive by himself? Is he? I think he's the only member of his entire team that's actually crossed the river. And I'll bet you he was raging at his team in chat. Oh my god, new team, nobody's crossed the river. Well, yeah, if you're the only one on your team to do it, well, you're just throwing good money after bad at that point, aren't you? What exactly are you going to achieve at that point? You know, and you see this happen over and over and over again in World of Tanks. It's surprising to see it happen in a tier 10 game like this, where people generally know better, but people will see their team doing the most dumb shit, and they'll rage at them and say, oh, no, nobody's gone up this side. And then they will go up that side 100% completely alone, even though it's now complete suicide because nobody else on your team is backing them up. And they'll still go and do it. And suddenly it's their team's fault that they died. No, it's your team's fault that nobody else went up that flank. It's your fault that you went up there alone and died. Start learning from the mistakes rather than just repeating them all the time. Well, while I was having a good rant there, sneaky little bat chat just blew his ammo rack, so he's had to use a repair kit. But he can't resist. I mean, look at this E100. The E100 is a well-armoured tank. If you angle it, if you're just going to sit sideways on, I mean, you know, that's going to happen. And there's that bat chat again. He doesn't have much of a shot at him. Takes it anyway. Bat chat is... he's just lurking around in the middle of the town there on the other side of the river. But if he's just sitting in position behind the buildings up there, it means he's either reloading or he's hiding and waiting until he drops off the radar. So Mugen takes the opportunity to move up. He has a quick poke just to make sure the Batchat hasn't moved up into a flanking firing position. He hasn't. Advances, T-54E1 and IS-7, and this should have been the end of the IS-7. Right into the drive wheel, and it just doesn't do anything. Should have immobilised him and kept him pinned in position, with multiple tanks, particularly Mugen, firing into his flank. But then Mugen spots the waffle trigger. He's running away. Well, you can't not shoot at one of these things when you see one. He manages to get two into him, and he's not the only one shooting at him. And then he gets into cover on the other side of the hill. And, you know, this is the thing about higher tier games. Mugen has done just over 3,500 damage in this game. There's only 4 tanks dead on each team. Well, okay, now there's 5 tanks dead on one team and 4 tanks dead on the other team. But the point is, this is what it's like in higher tier games. In mid and low tier games, you tend to get tanks just dying all over the place. Tanks sitting in positions where they shouldn't be sitting, getting hit again, again, and again, and again, and just sitting there returning fire without the sense to pull back and preserve their health and keep their gun in play. And you tend, not all the time, but you tend to see the exact opposite in high tier matches, just like this one. Not that many opportunities to finish off wounded tanks. Look at this Batchat. Look at the way he uses the friendly Jagdpanzer E100 as cover. And Mugen should have been able to do a hell of a lot more damage here. But these two guys are they're just not giving anybody a chance to shoot at them. And there's nothing you can do to save this Jagdpanzer. Finally manages to put one into the Batchat, but he should have been able to hit them. You know, if this was a mid to low tier game, one or both of those enemy tanks would have been dead. Oh, oh, he's blown his tracks off. Can he get him? Is he actually going to get him? He's hit him again. I don't know if he's going to get him, but he's definitely hit him again. Batchat's got to be panicking now. Took another hit from somebody else, but he did manage to get away. But he managed to get away. Nobody killed the Batchat. And that's what you see happen more often than not in high tier games like this, that you just really don't see in mid to low tier matches. People look after their health. Now things just warmed up a little as he was crossing that bridge, and the length of time it took him to get over the bridge, 3 tanks just died. But you know, these are the guys who have looked after their health so far and are now, like this Batchat, a one-shot kill. And he aims and bingo, headshot. Now over on the right, well, there's a bunch of enemy tanks on the ridgeline up there, but this farmhouse is keeping him covered. There's a Foch 155 taking multiple hits. He could probably use a bit of health. And between him and the Foch, see this guy here, he's got to make a choice. Who does he want to get shot by? He can take hits in the flank from Mugen, or he can move out in front and get away from Mugen and run in front of a Foch 155. At least with Mugen, he's got a chance of, well, not much of a chance, but he had some chance of surviving and pulling it off. And you know, this is what gets you kills and gets damage done. Looking for opportunities like that, catch people between a rock and a hard place. Which way are you going to go? Who would you like to get killed by today? The guy that you're hiding from, or me on the flank? The Foch moves up. Very grateful for the assist there. And there was somebody else around here. There he is. Oh, this isn't good. Oh, he's missed. And he's put one into him. I'm not even sure this guy's aware that the Foch is coming around the corner behind him. He's certainly not paying any attention to him. And that Foch is probably sitting there thinking, look at this, even artillery is getting in on the act. He knows the Foch is there now. He fires. Check this out. The Foch clips one into him. Their artillery fires, misses. Our artillery fires, misses. Come on, get him. Yeah, nice, thank you. Cheers for the assist, Mr. Foch. Team's got this now. Look at the damage he's done so far, though. 7,700 damage done. And there's still plenty more damage to do. And this is where, it's at this stage in a game where you really want to be driving something fast, like the STB, as you're scrambling to get into position and do the last bits of damage and claim those last kills, as everybody else in your team is rushing to do the same. If you were in something like... did that actually miss? I think it did. You know, if you're in something like a T95 stuck in the middle of the map, the game would be over for you by now. He's got shots at the Jaegeru, though. And shooting at the Jaegeru, you know, it's just worth more XP and credits than shooting at a tank 2 tiers lower than you. The Batchat's finished off the Lerva, putting shot after shot into this guy. The Foch 155's moved up. Looks like the Jaegeru's aiming for the Foch. The Foch is fired and... oh, yeah. Okay, the Jaegeru has killed the Foch, and that's good, because the Jaegeru has something like a 17-second reload, and Mugen doesn't. Come on. He's going for the arty now. Fires and hits, and seems to blow the tracks off the IS-7. Come on, can we do 10,000 damage in a game? There's the arty. Fires once. Come on, cut. Ah. Oh well. Not today. No 10,000 damage for you, Mugen. You're going to have to settle for 9,600. And watch the Batchat finish off what you started. Batchat's totally got the artillery. Oh, yeah, he's got him. There we go. And everybody's rushing in for the kill on this IS-7. He's probably cursing his team. I mean, it was a pretty convincing win for Mugen's side. And it's a shame Mugen didn't manage to get 10,000 damage done. That would have been pretty sweet. IS-7, how the hell do you miss an E100 from that range with an IS-7? But it's not these guys in front of them that are going to get him. Here comes the Batchat. See him sneaking up from behind. Here it comes. There it goes. And he opens up. And again. Everybody's rushing in, trying to get the last shot. The Batchat gets it. 5 kills for the Batchat, 5 kills for Mugen. But Mugen, by far, did the most damage. Unsurprisingly, an ace tanker badge, over 100,000 credits earned, 4,320 experience. But that, as well as the high caliber, and the high caliber was good, but it's one of the most impressive Confederate medals I've ever seen. Take a close look at that. He either spotted, hit, damaged, killed, or critted every single tank on the enemy team. I have never seen that done before. And it wasn't a bad high caliber medal either. I mean, he came within a whisker of doing 10,000 damage. He did as much damage as the next 3 highest scoring damage dealing members of his team combined, and one of those got 5 kills. So, yeah, Mugen. Subscriber spotlight for Mugen, driving the Panther and the STB1. It's not the first time I've shown some of his replays, but I think it's the first time I've done a subscriber spotlight on him. So thanks for sending these games in, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching them. As always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.